This is number 775. He's nicknamed Lefty. He has a very short left ear, and we don't know how he got that short left ear, but he wasn't born with it. In fact, when he was first identified as an adult bear in 2004, he had 2 symmetrical ears. So we know that bears get in fights sometimes. When that happens, the bears are often biting at each other's faces and the sides of their heads. And sometimes they get their ears completely ripped off or torn. And it looks like maybe Lefty just had that happen. Maybe part of his ear got ripped off in a fight. That's our best guess, but we don't really know for sure. Closer to where I am standing, in the plunge pool, nicknamed the Jacuzzi below Brooks Falls. This is one of the most famous bears here at Brooks River. This is number 480. He is nicknamed Otis. He got that nickname actually because of the shape of his ears, just oval-shaped ears. And maybe it doesn't make that much sense to go from oval-shaped to Otis, but that's how he got his nickname. We don't really know how old he is. He was an older juvenile bear or a young adult in, I think, about 2002 or so, or 2000 if I remember correctly. So he's in his early, maybe approaching mid-20s. So he's certainly the oldest adult male bear that we know of at Brooks River, although Lefty upstream of the falls might be just as old as him. We just don't know. Now he just caught a salmon here. And before I get downstream, let's take advantage of this opportunity to watch number 480 eat his salmon. Since Otis is an older bear, one of the ailments that a lot of brown bears suffer from as they age is worn and missing teeth. And he certainly is missing teeth, and also his molars, his incisors are very worn down. So he actually cannot bite and process the salmon as dexterously, if that's a word, as younger bears. So we'll often see him eating the fish in a more ragged manner. He won't be able to strip the skin off nearly as easy as younger bears. So that's one of the challenges he faces as an older bear. And here in Katmai, these are all wild brown bears, and they do not receive any veterinary care or supplemental feed. So they have to persevere through these challenges. And this isn't the first year that Otis has been dealing with worn or missing teeth. He's had that ailment for several years, and he still gets quite fat by the end of the year. So he's able to use his experience and efficiency to make a living despite not having the tools in his mouth like a younger bear. And it might be hard to see how much of the salmon he actually eats, but that'll be also a good indication of how hungry he is. This evening we're seeing bears leaving a lot of scraps behind, because there's a lot of fish in the water, so the bears are able to get their fill, and they don't have to eat every last morsel of the salmon. They can focus on eating the fattiest parts of the fish. And with sockeye salmon, that's the skin, the brain, and the eggs. The energy that they need to sustain their migration is in their fat deposits. A lot of that is in their skin. The brain is just a big fatty organ to begin with, and then the salmon roe is nothing but like fish oil, so it's a very fatty substance. And if you're looking to gain calories as quickly as you can before winter hibernation, you definitely want to eat the roe. That is not a part of the fish that you will let drift downstream. So while 480 here contemplates his next move, let's take a look back up to fish just a few years ago. In fact, 775 really has an interesting story.